After this, in 2014, I joined the professional world, and especially I choose a specialty which is EDI, Exchange Data Information. You need to choose the right profile picture for LinkedIn. So avoid the filtered picture of Instagram or Snapchat. It doesn't work. You need just professional picture, and which show that that you are ready to start in the professional world. Also, you need to turn your summary into a story, so it will grab the attention of recruiters. So it's so important. Also, you need to grow your network. So your network, your connection in LinkedIn, it's what is so important. This is what can give you some reference, and this is what can show that you are good in skills, and you can be recruited so easily. For example, in my case, when I want to change a job, for example, many times they contact me just in LinkedIn, and then we start the beginning of the recruitment. So it's so important to have a good network, and you have a good connection. The purpose not to have all your friends in in your network, but especially professional people, and also your teacher, which can also make you some recommendation. Also, you need to list all your relevant skills. In the beginning, when you are a student, it's a little complicated, but when you got in the professional world, you will get those skills, and then you can request some recommendation. Also, you need to share relevant content from your LinkedIn feed. So when you share something in LinkedIn, avoid the discussion of city or things like that. Avoid the pessimistic idea. It's not for all the information. You don't have to share like in Facebook. It's not Facebook. It's professional media. You have to use it as professional. It's you need to avoid sport. You need to avoid many things. If you share something, it must be professional, so it gives you some credibility. Also, you need to show your achievement and certification. When you get a new certification, you can share it. So it's a way to tell people that, or to tell recruiters that you are all the time following the new upgrade in all system, in all language. So it shows that you are not someone who stop studying when you just join a professional world. You continue all the time. So it's so important to get new achievement and new certification, even if you are already hired or if you have a fixed job. So thank you. Douae will show you some different formats of CV and how you can make good your CV in order to grab the attention of recruiters. Thank you.
Exactly. So we spoke about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is more like a network, like social media for the word work, and we have as well CV or resume. So the CV will be used for both, like if you are applying to access to like a school, for example. I know that with Campus France, at my time they asked it as the requested CV, but you will they will as long as you will involve in your career, you will have to make your CV grow as well with you. So for the CV, there is different formats. I think the format that will interest you is more the PDF one that I will share with you later on. So it's like the format that you can share with your employers, the recruiters, schools, I don't know, like Campus France, like external entities. And we have from our side, once you enter the world of work, we don't stop into the PDF one, but we make more detailed ones, like some CV in Word format or some CV in PPT format, so that we can integrate it in like when we respond to an offer from a client, etc., so that it's already prepared. So I will share with you my CV, sorry, in the PDF one. So it's CV that I've done years ago, I think 3 years ago, but it's good enough for an example. And you can see it here. So in this
I don't, you see the CV or not?
No, I don't. We don't.
Let me,
No.
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
is this okay now?
Yeah. Yes.
Good, good. So here is my CV that of 2017, but it's a good, for example, I think this is what you will need to have later on. So you see there is a template, you know, it's pure, we can see the information, it's splitted in different fields, and we will go through each field. In the CV, you can add your picture, a professional picture if you do have, or you can not put it. For example, in France, it's not an obligation. It's like for discrimination reasons. You are not obliged to put your picture. It's good if you do have one. At 2017, I did not have professional one, so that's why we don't have it. So in the CV, we start with your name and with a title, like the job that you are requesting for. So always title. And the title needs to fit to what you are applying for. For example, as we saw together, like in slides before, since the beginning, I'm consultant, management consultant. That's why I was at that time. Yes.
Hala, I'm sorry. Can you mute your mic?
Yeah. Okay. So it depends on your templates that you use. You know, this one is very easy to build. It's just like with the Word, you can build it very easily. You know, it's triangle with colors. You can build this one. There is so many on the internet. And you can put, for example, on the left side, we see some personal details. It's more contact information. It's really key. For example, if your CV grabs the attention of someone so that they know who call in, and you need to have like the relevant phone number. And you need to put your email address. If you can see here, my email address is the one of my school, so École Centrale Marseille. And the email address is really key. You know, it can seem easy or simple or like, I don't know, clear. But I've seen, for example, for my job, when I am hiring, I can see people, I don't know, put in Leila-95- you know, not very professional ones. So really pay attention to the way you are putting your email. We don't know the people that are trying to recruit us. You can be judged on everything. So try to be the most professional possible. Then if you have some computer skills, for example, for my side, I have skills about back office, you know, Excel, Word, PowerPoint. When I just graduated from school, I used to put, I don't know, everything that I learned in my school, like, I don't know, Java, Maple, every like a computer skill. But like a very important advice that I can share with you, really, whatever you put in your CV, you need to master it. So don't put something that you don't want to do, simply. You know, for example, for my first job, I put many languages, and you know, you are in projects, okay, but you put this computer skill on your CV, but I don't want to do it. It was just to capture the attention or to catch my recruiters. So that's why really put like what you would like to work in, what you master, and like really avoid to put so many skills just in order to grab the attention. Then the languages, really as much languages, you know, you can put. So English is really like the first one, and if you have like some professional skills for English, put it. It will be a very good point for you. And then, you know, some skills domain probably it will come later on, but for myself, I do have some, like, you know, I don't know if you already was involved in projects in your school, if you had a team, like everything which is team management, it's very interesting. And then it's really important to speak about your interests. If you do have some, like for example, I heard sports, it's very important, especially like if you have some team sports, it means that it will give a good message to your recruiter. It means that you can involve in team. You have a good sociable capacities. You have a good brain because sports means that you have good brain. You pay attention to your health. So it's really important for you and really put it. If you love, for example, reading, for myself, I read so much. So you put it. If you travel somewhere, put it. It means that you are open-minded. You saw other cultures, you can take some overview about what you've seen. So it's very important. And for example, for my side, when I was in engineering school, I used to give some private lessons to students. So it's very important to put it as well because it means that you can be understood, you can teach people, you can do some train people, coach them, and you can share your point of views easily, which is very important in the world of work. You know, you are not in your brain. Communications comes from two people, and the most important is to get understood. So if you are good enough in private lessons and you tried it, it means that you can get understood and you will not have problems with these candidates. And then, you know, sports, you already spoke about this. So really for the CV or the resume, try to like put yourself in the hands, like as your recruiters. What are you going to search when you see the CV? So for example, if I see a CV of someone that is still in the beginning of the career or at the end of a school, if he will put, I don't know, MATLAB, say, or Langage C, all the computer skills, I will like, okay, but there is something wrong. Probably it's right, but like I will have some doubts because, okay, at I don't know, at 22 years old or 23, it's so much, it's like, it's so many skills, even like, I don't know, people that we can have in the company is very good, do not master these kinds of languages. So really put the information that you master, very key. For my side, no one tells me that. That's why I'm like insisting, but it can seem simple, but it's very important. And we do receive some CVs that are like too much. And then if you do have some professional background, put it. Generally, when we have some experience, we start with the professional background, then we move into the education background and vice versa. For your side, you are still students. You don't have probably enough, even though you don't have enough professional background. So speak more about the education background and try to go into details. If you got, I don't know, sometimes we do have in engineering school, we have TAPE, like some projects that we deliver. If you did it well, put it. When I used to be like at the end of the school, I used to put it. If you have like, you have very good projects with your classes that you have in English. So if you had the opportunity to work on like teamwork, put it. So that's it. I will not go very deeply into the professional background because it's a bit technical. If you have questions, with pleasure, I can answer them. But then I suggest you to move into the education background. So for example, in education background, if you see here, we go from the most recent one to the eldest one. So here, if you can see, I did not put my high school, but you can put your high school because this is like the highest part. As long as you will involve into your career, you will really put the most important. And we have like, for example, some colleagues that do not put the education background, they only put the school that they graduated for. So as long as you will have experiences, you understand, we will like more pay attention to the professional background. We'll speak less about the education background and vice versa. So for your case, speak about high school, projects, if you are good, like if you got first marks, it's good. For example, it's if you are the eldest in your family, you can put it. It means many things. It means that you can take the responsibility of your siblings. It means many things. You can put this kind of stuff that can mean many things and give some information to your recruiter. And if you are good enough in defending them and in discussing them, it's like you are mastering. It's great. And for example, as well here, if you can see in my CV, I put some association activities. The associations is what you can do this so much in engineering school. So for my side, I worked for the event pole of CHIRAP. CHIRAP is a national association in the whole France, and it works for the aim of people that have the cancer. So it's good. It means that you are doing something rather than studies. You can work with people. You work for good reasons as well, and it says many things. And even, for example, here the event pole means that you are good enough in planification. You can plan some big events. You can deal with stress. So really in the CV, try to put what you master, try to be the most concise possible, and try to have it as story, as my husband said. It's like story. You are telling your story. You need to understand every detail that you put in the CV, because the recruiter will raise questions about what you put there. And like if you are not comfortable enough with something that you put yourself in there, then the recruiter will say, okay, maybe I'm not so sure about him or about her. So really it's very intuitive. Try to put yourself at the place of the person that you have in front of you, and put like what could interest this person. Then very quickly, I can show you one of the other formats. I will not enter into details. For example, if you are seeing my screen, here you can see another format of CV. So in this CV, you see we are like very lightly speaking about the background, the studies background. Like I'm just speaking, raising the two universities that I've done, the languages, and I'm more speaking about the people or the sectors that I worked for. And even here, I prioritized what I've done to fit to the person I'm trying to work for. Then we can see another type of format, much more detailed, but it's an opportunity to spend some time on it. And you see we can have other formats of CVs. It has many pages where we put really all the details. So this is like a bank of like a database for the company to check what are the skills that are mastered, for example, by myself, and say, okay, if I have an opportunity, probably she can do a good job. So it's for this aim. And then, I really put everything, and I try to update it every 6 months in order for myself to not forget what I've done through the different projects, and for the company to have it in front of them of it. So these are about the types of CVs. For yourself, you will have the PDF one. Even though it's in Word format, try always to put it in PDF. It means that it cannot be changed by anyone. So when you share it, for example, with Campus France or another entity, always share it in PDF, which means that you are the latest one that changed your CV. And then later on, you will see other formats, but it will come by the future. And last but not least, some tips that I already went through during my first CV presentation. So the contact information is very important. Put it. I've already seen some CVs without contact information. As I said before, try to be credible, professional with your email address. You can, it's very easy to create an email address. So with the Gmail one, surname, name, it works very good. Prioritize, order your experiences. So it depends on the experiences that you have. For the moment, probably you will have only the studies one. Try to prioritize. You still put it in the chronological order, but if you have some projects that you were involved for, try to prioritize them. Same for the skills, either for back office, computer skills, other sports skills, always prioritize. Then customize and fit. For example, the CV that you will send for Campus France will not be the same than the CV that you will send to an engineering school or to your first traineeship. So you need to every CV need to be seen as a CV done for this company, because we are much more attracted when it's this case. But maybe it will come later on. And master. It's really key. I'm insisting. I know that I am insisting on this, but it took me time to realize how important enough is this part. For example, for my case, I can just give you a brief anecdote. When I was in Centrale Marseille, I've worked for a project for Ernst & Young, EY, which is a very famous consulting group. So it was project, but we were a group, but I was not mastering the aim of the project. It comes, it happens. So I put it because it's very attractive. There is the name of the company. And later on, it took me time, but in many job interviews, I was penalized because of this. So it was much easier if I just deleted this experience, because I master all the other stuff, rather than letting it probably spending so much time in some interviews that will not work, rather than really focusing on the most important. So that's it. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much.